Hello, everyone, and welcome to an exciting webinar we have for you today. Today, we have Michelle Kershner from HRlogics, who will be speaking about all things compliance. My name is Erica Throckmorton from Advanced Partners. We are happy to be sponsoring this webinar today. Advanced Partners specializes in providing working capital to growing staffing firms nationwide. Before we get started with the webinar, I want to go over a few housekeeping items with you. This webinar is being recorded, and a link of the recording will be sent to everyone via a post-event email following the event. To submit a question, please use the Ask a Question widget located in your console. A survey will launch at the conclusion of this event, and we hope you will take a moment to complete it. We appreciate any feedback you have, as it will help us fine-tune these events for future. If you experience any technical issues, please use the Help widget shaped like a question mark. With that, let's introduce our speaker. Michelle Kershner is the Vice President of Sales at HRlogics, formerly SyncStream Solutions, an ACA reporting and compliance company. She is a dynamic, results-driven compliance strategist with 20-plus year record of working in the compliance and payroll world. She has worked with thousands of employers, providing visionary leadership to help become compliant in an ever-changing time for employers and their reporting. Michelle, the floor is yours.
Wonderful. Erica, thank you so much. And thank you to Advanced Partners for having me today. I'm excited to dive in and show all of you what we're going to present today. I think it's important to really line up your compliance now, as we just wrapped up with a really busy reporting season. So what a better time now than to take a look at what we have and to say to yourselves, let's dive in and see how we can make it easier for you. As Erica said, we were formerly known as SyncStream Solutions, and I work with several of you already. We now have many different areas that we can bring to the table, to include our ACA, unemployment claims, WOTC, and other tax credits, I-9, and verifications. So I'm excited to kind of dive in today. And if you want to take a deeper dive, you can email me and we can do a demo. We can do it of one solution, all the solutions, whatever works for you. I like to show and talk about here, this is the Hive. And within this Hive, you can see all of our solutions. There'll be one dashboard with one logon. You can have cross-Hive record updates. And we can leverage all of the integrations with our centralized reporting so that it's all kept intact in one area. Now, I like to go over eliminating the paperwork and minimizing your risk so that you know that everything is taken care of, having everything at your fingertips within that Hive. This is the area so that you know all of your compliance needs are handled and put in one close, framed area so that you're not having to struggle finding it. So let's start with our ACA first. As you know, we were previously known as SyncStream Solutions. We work with many of you already, and you can see here that we're tracking and reporting and mitigating penalties and producing all of the forms and making sure that everyone is filed off to the IRS safely, accurately, and so that you know you're not have to worry about penalties later 2 years down the road. Now, I don't want to dive into the basics, but let's just cover what is the Affordable Care Act. You're going to hear me talk about things like an ALE, which is an applicable large group employer. You are an applicable large group employer once you reach 50 full-time employees. So if you are just on the cusp or just reaching that, or you believe you're going to hit that this year, feel free to reach out to me and I can help you and guide you through in this process. Now, ALEs, or large employers, are the ones that usually have issues. And I know many of you in your industry have many EINs, multiple EINs. So pulling those multiple EINs together and reporting correctly and accurately to the IRS can bring a lot of risk. So if you're having trouble or struggling with those areas, feel free to reach out and we can help you through. I like to talk about that large employers and the common challenges because I may be speaking to you with some challenges that you're having. So handling different file formats, Excel spreadsheets, and different formats is very, very difficult. So know that we can help you with all of that. Coding and specs, all of the coding is taken care of for you. Another thing that we do that Advance Partners really appreciates is a pre-audit. We're auditing all of the forms to the IRS prior to any submission. Because with this being said, you can eliminate a lot of penalties by just doing this right up front. And you hear me talking about the IRS is about 2 years behind on penalties. So right now, they're just starting to look at 2022 for penalties. And I don't know about all of you, but I can't remember what I ate for breakfast, let alone what I filed in 2022. We have a repository where we keep all of that information so that you can feel confident and comfortable that you have an ACA expert who can guide you and lead you through. I like to talk about some common mistakes. A lot of people fail to perform an aggregate employer group analysis. This is something that is really important as you go through the process to make sure if you have multiple EINs, what are you doing? That is something that we can help and guide. Another area is not applying the correct IRS approved measurement periods. You will have a client service rep who works one-on-one with you, who always is leading you with information and knowing what is going to be best for you and for your company. Misclassified employees is another area of concern, and health benefits not considered affordable. We can help you and guide you in all of these areas to make sure that you do have accurate tracking and reporting for all of the employment periods for an employee. The benefits of HRlogics is making sure that you have all of those things at your fingertips. Quick and easy setup, full tracking and reporting, notifications, and changing of laws, rules, and regulations. Each year, the IRS does an update. Last year was a big hit to a lot of small group employers. They did change the regulations that you must electronically report now. So a lot of people were confused and stumped by that and had a lot of concerns. So know that you now have an expert who can lead you through and guide you and give you those updates. Also, multiple states are jumping in now with not only a federal filing, but a state filing. So making sure that you know that your ACA is covered accurately and completely are one of the key factors in why we partner with Advance Partners. I like to talk about our key differentiators. Our legal expertise is something that's far beyond. I know that we've had to really work with a few clients in making sure that not only their aggregate groups are taken care of accurately and correctly, but also making sure that if you are receiving penalty letters, that you are getting to the bottom of the issue and concern. We can help guide you and lead you on all of that. I think it's important to share with you that our staff has been here since the inception of the ACA. This is wonderful because these are the true pioneers in the industry who really know the ins, the outs, the ups, the downs. I'm going to jump to next, our unemployment claims. And we'll take questions at the end. So if you have questions, you can send them over to Erica or you can hold them until I wrap up at the end. But our next solution that we're going to dive in is unemployment claims. This is full service claims management. And I really like to dive in on this one because you pay a percentage of your payroll to this fund. And if you do not manage this well, this will raise your rate. This is the one thing as an employer group that you can control and really benefit your business. So making sure that you're doing this is really important. I like to talk about the POA because power of attorney is really important as we dive in. I know many of you are probably thinking, gosh, this is just such a pain with those power of attorneys, but we streamline this for you so you do not have to do anything. We handle this so it's handled effectively and efficiently. We can manage your volume and it follows to keep everything in place so that you're not worried about what's coming in, who's opening the mail. We handle all of that for you. Now, I really like to talk about this overpayment because this is an area where a lot of my clients had no idea. So I'm going to talk with you about a few different areas of this overpayment. I like to share that there's over $44 billion in improper unemployment payments. This is huge. How can we help you notify and make sure that everything you're doing is done accurately and correctly? I like to point out, because I know we have multiple states on the call, the overpayment rate of the top 3 states are Virginia at 45%, Florida at 41%, and Tennessee at 40%. If you are in one of those states, you right now are in a large overpayment bracket. We can help you align that and make sure that everything is in place for you so that you can feel confident and comfortable on the one area that you can control. We're helping you control that so you have a good rate. I like to talk about our award-winning claims management software. We really have had great success in this area, and it's wonderful to hear people say that we're a leader in the industry. I think it's important to point out to you that we are the only TPA that is integrated with all 6 UI sides exchange, which makes things much easier for you with response times and getting things in accurately and correctly. You will also see that we have a comprehensive account views so that things are very easy. When people look at the software, it's something that they feel they can manage, follow, and not get lost. So let's talk about the key differentiators, because I think it's important that you know what separates us and what's unique. So our lines of service offer all full claims management as a TPA. The claims software and claims management consulting is all in there. We're the first and only TPA provider to be live on all 6 sides exchange. And we are the only platform on the market with a secure communication platform feature. So it's constantly keeping up with everything going on. You're not having to worry about who's opening the mail, when are those hearings, what does that look like, who's attending. We can handle and manage all of that for you. So with that being done, let's jump in on our work opportunity tax credit, also known as WOTC. I like to tell you that WOTC is how it all starts, but there are many areas of tax credits, and our team of experts dive into all of them. The work opportunity tax credit is one area that we dive into. We also look at the research and development credits, solar credits, those negotiated incentives, state and federal, and any disaster recovery credits. So when you talk about work opportunity tax credits, know that we're diving in and looking at this very extensively. We're looking at empowerment zones and different areas on how we can help guide and lead you. Tax credit maximum per eligible new hire is $9,600. And I'll share with you, we need to capture these credits with a new employee within the first 28 days of that start date. So getting things in and completed accurately and correctly right away are what we do to help guide you to these credits so that you can feel confident and comfortable that you're receiving what's due to you by your hiring practices. Now, many people ask me, who qualifies for the work opportunity tax credit? Here's a list of the areas that you can take a look at. It is our veterans. It is the temporary assistance for needy families, recipients of food stamps. There's many different areas for vocational and the rehabilitation, empowerment zones, as you've heard me talk about, ex-felons, summer youth employees. I know many of you as staffing agencies bring in a lot of summer help. There are tax credits within those areas that we can help you out with. So if you're looking and having some questions, happy to dive in and do a demo with you so that we can take a look at this. I like to talk about industries because in my staffing areas, many of you are in all different expertise. So let's hone in on some of the really high ones so that you can see trucking, healthcare, restaurants, manufacturing, that temporary staffing, professional services, warehouse services and manufacturing, food processing, and that skills trades. Here's an example that I like to point out. This is a case study. This was a restaurant that had 50 new hires and 25% of the new hires qualified, which could result in a $27,000 tax credit. Now, these are credits that are just there waiting for you to secure. So if we can help you in securing these, let's dive in and get it done. I like to show you a little bit about our SMART survey. I think it's important so that you can see what the employee is seeing and how it works and what it looks like. It's very simple and easy to use, and I'm happy to dive into this with you once we jump on a demo. So let's talk about those key differentiators for our work opportunity tax credit and additional tax credits. Again, automated state submission API, only provider on the market to have this capability. We have single source solution for all US federal and state tax credits, and we have the ability to implement and update rapidly in response to the legislative changes. As you know, those changes are always happening. Many of you who work with me on ACA get my updates and reminders so that you know what's going on in the world. This is just another way that we will constantly update and keep you in track of what's going on in that level of compliance so that you know what's out there. Let's dive in now on our onboarding compliance forms I-9 and E-Verify. We'd like to say that we're taking care of you from start to finish with all of your compliance needs. And I think it's important for you to know that we have some great capabilities with our I-9. I'll share with you that when we talk about this, it's the transparency that allows you for the employees to be legally shared and taken care of so that you know you're protected and that everything is accurate and complete. This is important so that you know this. There are fines out there, as you can see. $2,789 is the maximum fine per administrative error. I believe now, and I need to update, I believe now from the new book that just came out, it's about 130 pages of instructions. So it's growing, and I want to share with you that just came out this week. So we're happy to dive in with you to help you take a look at how to be completely accurate with all of your filings on I-9. I think it's important to share with you here that this is where you will learn the compliance, the accuracy, the timeliness, the error checking, the consistency. I think when you talk about I-9 and the requirements, everybody got a lot of shakeup last year with the E-Verify and what that looks like. COVID changed how we interview, how we look at employees, and how that process works. So I'm going to share with you, we have 4 options for remote I-9 compliance. Because in all honesty, I would say to you that 99% of you are doing some form of remote hiring. We can offer one of the 4 solutions to find what works best for you with your remote hiring needs. As we know, it's a growing area and an area that really has come up since COVID. Now, let's dive in on some of those key differentiators for our Clear I-9. Other I-9 products do not support many different models. I know we have staffing. I know we have PEO. I know we have many different directions on this call today. I want to share with you that we can support all of those methodologies. And there are 4 options for that remote completion. So if you're hung up or you do not have the offerings for all of the requirements through the IRS, know that we can offer that to you. Also, we can help reduce or eliminate 60 to 80% of common I-9 errors. I love to dive in on demos and show you what this looks like. So if you're interested or you're having any questions or concerns about your I-9, feel free to reach to me after this, and we can dive in and help you out with that so that you can feel confident and comfortable. Let's dive into our last product now on clear verification. I know many of you I've had conversations with in regards to this verification. What we have done that other platforms is we have created a logic that's new and up to date. Many of the logics out there are about 10 to 15 years old, and they have not had a lot of updates done. We have built this into our service so that as an employer, you are helping your employees, making sure that they have that flexibility when they go out and they apply for a car loan. And we find that the majority of the people who go out and apply for a car loan or go secure a loan for their home, they're either doing it on Wednesday nights, Friday nights, or Saturdays, which is exactly when you're not working. So our technology comes into play so that while your employee is out there and looking for a verification on a nighttime or a weekend, we can give that verification so that they can drive off that car lot with that car and not be held over a barrel and know, can they get this verification? Nobody works in my office on Saturday. Nobody works at night. This verification is in place for them so they don't have to worry about that. Now, verification services are not about your data. And I really want to stress this point here. There are many verification companies out there that sell your employees' data. The minute they go to apply for a car, all of a sudden, they're now getting emails on, come buy vinyl siding, come check out these windows. Their data has been sold. We protect your employees' data. And that's what really makes us different. I want to point that out to you because as the employer, it is important to protect your employees. And that is something that we will do with you so that you do not have to worry about that data being sold. Now, let's talk about that Verify Me. This is really important. As you know, my Verify is key, as I stated to you, when somebody goes out on those weeknights and weekends and is trying to get verified. These features are in place so that that verification can go through and they can feel confident and comfortable and not have to worry. Let's talk about the verification inbox. I think it's important, as this is a key feature. As an employee, I want to know what's out there and what's on my record. I can look at everything and know exactly what's in play. If something is not accurate or correct, I can view all of that data and know exactly what is there. It's another way of protecting your employees so that they know what's available and what's out there for them. So I like to talk about this competitive analysis so that you can use and kind of hear. We're user friendly. We will not sell your data. We are very much about employee privacy. And we are the only verification platform to have a robust hierarchy structure to facilitate seamless and access to permanent data. That is important, that that pertinent data is protected at all times. I like to show you a few client testimonials so that you can feel confident and comfortable. You hear me talking about, we work with several clients and we really cherish our relationships with all of our advanced partners clients. And I like you to know that we really form relationships with you. I think it's important you hear that you're not just a number, you're individuals that come in that need help with compliance needs. And that's what we do, is we help lead and guide and bring you to a full compliance circle under one platform. So you're not having to jump around or look for data, or where am I getting this report, or how is that data pulling in? We do all of that through our compliance hive. If you want some more information, or if you're interested in learning more or wanting a demo, I am happy to dive in with you. Here's the info where you can reach to me. Many of you probably still have my SyncStream email, and you can still use that because I am still operating under that email also. Erica, I bet there's a few questions possibly out there.
There are. Thank you, Michelle. That was wonderful, very insightful. We had a few questions come in. I'm just going to rattle them off. All right, first one. You said something about overpayment on the call. Did you say that overpayment rate for unemployment in Florida is 41%?
Yes. And you know, I'm glad that somebody's pointing that out. It looks like we got somebody from Florida on the call. Understand that this is unemployment claims. This is something that you can control. That overpayment of 41% means that you're being hit by that in Florida if you're not doing it accurately and correctly. We can dive in and take a look and help you reduce that overpayment and make sure that you can feel confident and comfortable about that number and knowing that you have control of that.
Awesome. Thank you. Next question about taxes. I have not filed my taxes for 2023. Am I still able to?
Yes, and I believe you're referring to your ACA. So absolutely, if you have not filed your ACA for 2023, know that we can help you and guide you. We have a past year's filing, and we've worked with several advanced partners clients that maybe you didn't realize you were an ALE or applicable large group employer. So we can help you all the way back to the inception of the ACA. Because as you know, or maybe you don't know, there is no statute of limitations on the penalties for the IRS. So at any time, they can knock on your door, send you a letter, and let you know that you are up for a penalty. So we can guide you and help you through that.
Wonderful. And yes, there was a second part to that question. They added ACA. All right, last one. Are you guys able to take care of past year's filings all the way back to 2020 for ACA?
Yes. So we can help you out. As I stated, you know, the law is in place right now that there is no statute of limitations. So the IRS can issue a penalty at any time. I'll tell you that they're about 2 years behind in issuing those penalties at present, and they are pretty actively going out. We've received phone calls on a regular basis from new clients who receive our name either through their broker or through their payroll group. So know that we can help and guide and go all the way back to the inception at 2015.
That's it for the questions. I'm just double checking. Yes, that was it. So thank you everybody for attending. This webinar, like I said at the top, will be sent out via email. And if you have any questions, please reach out to Michelle. Her email is on the screen. Michelle, thank you so much. This was wonderful. Take care, everybody.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.